Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for Skill of Attraction. And today's attraction tips video is called When She Pulls Away, Don't Do This. Now, I've covered the pull away in several videos, but this is such a common issue for men and it's so frustrating that I think it really can't be covered enough. One day she can't keep her hands off of you, she's showering you with love and affection, craves you in her bed, but the next day she's not responding to your text messages, or she's responding with short one-word messages, completely cold and distant. Now, of course, this leaves men very frustrated and confused, sometimes even scared, wondering what he did wrong, wondering why the sudden change in her attitude. Then all the dark thoughts begin. Did she lose interest? Did I do something wrong? Is she playing games? Is there another guy? In fact, it seems that most men believe she's either playing games or that it's another guy. In the comments section of my other videos about pulling away, so many men say the same things over and over again. Oh, she's just playing games, or it's definitely another guy. Now, of course, these things could be true, but that's not usually the case. In fact, they're typically the exceptions to the rule. The problem here is that men look at a woman's actions in a logical way. I mean, that's who we are. We're logical problem solvers. However, when it comes to the actions of women, logic really doesn't have much of a place in that realm. Now, as I've stated many times, women act on their emotions. Now, I'm not saying that women can't be logical, because they absolutely can. They would never make it in the business world if they couldn't be logical. But that's typically when a woman is in her masculine energy. Now, when she's with her strong, confident, masculine man, women are going to naturally fall into their feminine energy. And femininity is filled with emotions, oftentimes erratic emotions, that make little sense logically. But it's important to understand that women are typically guided by their emotions. Whatever she's feeling, that's the actions she'll take. And this is one of the reasons why they're so confusing to us. They're often even confusing to other women. Have you ever asked a woman for advice on women? Even they can't figure out why a woman is behaving a certain way. Why? Because it doesn't make any logical sense. And for the record, it's not a good idea to ever ask women advice on women. They'll almost always get it wrong unless they have a decent understanding of how attraction works, which is really rare for just about anyone. So whether or not a woman is all over you or she's pulling away from you, she's acting on her current emotions. And those emotions are always in flux, oftentimes from moment to moment. The problem for most men is that they're hanging on her every action or word, overanalyzing everything, waiting for her to guide him. Now, this isn't leadership, and women want a man who could lead her. So when a woman pulls away, men just spring into action to try and get her attention and affection back on him. The problem with that is that he's actually chasing her and trying to prove himself to her. Now, what's wrong with that? Well, chasing her will ultimately chase her away, because it shows that she has him wrapped around her little finger. And once a woman believes that she has a man, it's more or less over. Why? Because women love the chase. Be sure to see my last video, Will Women Chase You?, to understand about how women chase men. So in this attraction tips video, I'm going to be discussing why women pull away from you and why it will always happen occasionally, and what you should absolutely not do when she inevitably pulls away. But if you guys need my personal help and you're interested in some private coaching, please head over to my website at soa.fm, click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see that I have several options for you to choose from. My coaching options include several phone coaching packages for my North American clients and several Zoom coaching packages for my clients outside North America. And I'll post the links to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. And also be sure to check out my new merch, which can be found directly below this video or by tapping on the store tab on my channel. So first, I'm going to talk about men's most common reactions to the girl pulling away, because these are all things that you should not do when she becomes cold and distant. And this is in no particular order. Probably the most common reaction is they start blowing up her phone. Why aren't you responding to me? Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? All these sort of things make you sound scared, insecure, and quite frankly, pathetic. Now, I'm not judging you for doing this because I used to do a lot of these things too. But looking at the big picture, yeah, it's pathetic. A man who sees himself as the prize does not do this. In fact, a man who sees himself as the prize will not be doing any of what I'm about to explain. Now, by blowing up her phone and bombarding her with all these fearful questions, tells her that you have her on a pedestal and that your happiness revolves around her level of interest in you. Women want to be with a man who is happy regardless of her level of interest. Now, another very common reaction to a woman pulling away is confessing your feelings. Men often think that confessing their feelings will get her back to showering him with affection. But the truth is, she could sense that you're doing it so you could hear it back from her. Now she sees this as a weak move. And if you see my video, Women Don't Care About How You Feel, then you would know that confessing your feelings does nothing to increase her attraction and interest in you. She doesn't care about how you feel about her. She only cares about how she feels about you. Now, men often also buy a girl gifts or sends her flowers. And you may think that you're being romantic and demonstrating your love for her. But again, she knows that you're only supplicating, and it immediately turns her off. Supplication actually communicates a lack of confidence and approval-seeking behavior. Now, I've also noticed that many men, due to fear of losing her or upsetting her, they'll start apologizing or explaining themselves to her. Oh my God, did I make you angry? I'm so sorry. It's just that I thought you meant something else. I didn't mean to make you angry. Guys, there's no reason for you to do this. Of course, if you actually did something wrong, then yes, of course, you should apologize. But always keep your apologies to an absolute minimum. Apologizing too much makes you come across as weak. And for the record, this isn't just apologizing to her. It's apologizing to everyone. No woman wants to see her man groveling to her or anyone else. Oh, and before I forget, I've been working on a new men's community for you guys. Consider it the new skill of attraction. Here you guys can ask questions, share your war stories, give and get advice from other members, including myself. And technically, it's still in the testing phases, but it's live, and I want you guys to start using it. So head on over to soa.fm, sign up for an account. Registration is free, and I made sure that you can remain relatively anonymous. And I want to hear your feedback too, so I can make the site better. And I have a nice, short, and easy to remember domain, soa.fm. And if you need help remembering it, SOA for skill of attraction, and FM because it's fucking magic. So I hope to see you there. Now, the final reaction to a woman pulling away is ultimatums. Now, don't give her an ultimatum when she's pulling away or not cooperating with you. Ultimatums are used when a person feels like they have no other course of action. In other words, it's used when you have no power. Now, there is a time and a place for ultimatums, but this isn't it. It's just going to make you seem weak, powerless, and controlling. So to sum it up, don't blow up her phone. Don't start confessing your feelings. Don't go out and buy her gifts or flowers. Don't start apologizing and explaining yourself. And finally, don't start giving her ultimatums. In fact, if you attempt to pressure her into giving you love and attention and even sex, that is the last thing that you're going to get. It will actually cause her to pull away more. So why is it that women pull away to begin with? Well, in the majority of cases, it's because she's feeling a little smothered, sometimes pressured, and a little overly familiar with you. Basically, you've made it very clear that she has you, and now she doesn't feel the urgency to spend time with you. You're overinvested. So anytime that you're a little overinvested, over pursuing her a bit too much, she's going to naturally pull away. You have taken away all the mystery and challenge for her. You've given her nothing left to chase after. Now, if you're asking yourself, why isn't she chasing me anymore? Well, the answer is because you're doing all the chasing. She doesn't have anything to chase. And so instead of chasing after her, your response to this, not a reaction, but a response, should be to match and mirror her level of effort and enthusiasm until she begins to invest in you again. And she will, once she realizes that you're not chasing after her, when she begins to question where she stands with you again. So just be patient and turn your attention towards your goals and hobbies, or even other women if you're not in a committed relationship. And she'll be back soon, trust me. Now, other typical reasons for her pulling away include you've done or said something that has hurt her, or she came to the conclusion that you aren't investing enough in her. So you start chasing her in those cases, right? Wrong. Because you usually don't know the exact reason she's pulling away, you still want to match and mirror her. However, if you haven't heard from her in about a week, all you do is contact her one time and simply ask, is everything okay? Don't make it about yourself by asking weak things like, are you mad at me? Or did I do something wrong? Just ask if everything is okay. And if she's still being cold, try to get her to open up a bit and tell you what's bothering her. Most of the time, women will feel much better just getting it out and telling you why she's upset with you. And you want to really listen here, because women tend to communicate with feelings and not so much facts. In other words, what's really bothering her is somewhere between the lines. So you have to listen and look at what you believe the underlying issue really is. Now, of course, in this case, she is purposely pulling away, and she realizes that. If she's pulling away because she doesn't feel you're investing enough, then what she's doing is sort of playing games. But it's best not to look at it this way, because that's just going to make you defensive. Now, sometimes women pull away just because they're dealing with some sort of stress that's outside the relationship, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. As an example, perhaps she's fighting with one of her girlfriends or her mother or something like that. Her heart is just not open to you at the moment. All she needs is a little space and time to work through it. So you basically handle it the same way. Now, whatever you do, do not panic, as most men do. You never want to react emotionally. The truth is, most women don't realize that they're doing it. In most cases, if you ask a woman why she's being distant lately, she'll say, "Really? I didn't realize that I was being distant." Now, I know many of you are saying, how could she not know that she's pulling away? Well, that's because she's following her emotions, and she's not making a logical decision to do it. This is why you just back off and you give her some space. Now, the only reason you're matching and mirroring isn't because you're punishing her, but so you don't do too much or too little. And if you get passive aggressive and butthurt, then you're being weak. And it shows that her lack of attention makes you upset. So instead, you want to show that you're relatively unfazed, and that will ultimately be quite attractive to her. So never react. Being reactionary is feminine energy, but responding in a masculine way will keep her attraction for you alive and well. So, if you found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. And I'd also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have numerous offers or links to attraction-related programs that may very well interest you. But I also have a link to PayPal or my Bitcoin wallet address if you deem this video worthy of a donation. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.